Hey everybody, Kirk, the Transfer Warehouse. I am here at Gigi's Playhouse and I'm sitting here talking with Heather, and we're just talking about how we, the Transfer Warehouse as a team, was previously volunteered here. And can you just elaborate more, Heather, about what Gigi's Playhouse is and what it does?
Yeah, Gigi's Playhouse is North Dakota's only Down Syndrome Achievement Center. We provide free educational, therapeutic, social, and physical therapy-based fitness programs for individuals with Down syndrome from a prenatal or birth diagnosis all the way through the lifespan, through adults. And part of our mission is to change the way the world views Down syndrome and overall promote global acceptance for all.
So Heather, obviously we were here just before grand opening, so we're in a brand new facility. It's beautiful, I want to say. How important is it you view as obviously fundraising, but also how is it the volunteers, and how important is that for Gigi's? So.
It is probably outside of getting dollars to keep our programs free. It also, volunteers are the heart of what we do. We're 97% volunteer ran, and so we don't fully operate without our volunteers giving their time to help give back to our families. And so I say, you don't have to be a former teacher, you don't have to be a fitness instructor to come run some of our specific programs. But what you need to have is be willing to have some fun, have fresh ideas, be vibrant, be willing to be inspired, and just the time to give back.
That just blows my mind, 97% volunteerism. So obviously it's so critical, and obviously as a city, as a department, I feel is a great place, and people support it a lot. But talking about like key transfer houses here, well, how important is it for groups from corporations or businesses to come in?
Yeah, so with Key Transfer Warehouse, they were a huge impact and part of our grand opening. But having them come on a quarterly basis or more than once a year now that we're open helps with some of those bigger projects that we ultimately have to run our programs. For example, for us, we run one-on-one literacy and math tutoring, and it's great to get the volunteer to come in and work with the student to execute it, but there's so much work behind the scenes. And so when we bring in our bigger groups, not only does it, one, expose our mission, two, it showcases the amazingness that happens outside our walls, and even a social media story. But it really shows that the small impact as a group really goes a long way to make our program successful.
So then, Heather, why Gigi's? Maybe tell us a little bit more about your story and why you're here.
Yeah.
What you do, because I know you work a lot.
Yeah.
We were talking about it, and you were like, I got this, and just even maybe talk about kind of like your events, the Gala thing coming up.
Yeah, so Gigi's for me, my why is being an extreme advocate. I don't see disabilities, I see abilities, and oftentimes I meet with new parents, whether it's a birth diagnosis or prenatal diagnosis, or even a family that hasn't walked through our doors with an adult, and the challenge that they have is accepting the diagnosis. Gigi's is a place where they get to come and they don't need to be defined by a diagnosis, and I think that's what helps me thrive even more, to share that we're all people. We all need supports to be successful, and Gigi's is a support for my friends with Down syndrome to really be their best versions of themselves. And so, also another one of my whys is everything we do here is free for our families. They don't pay $1 to walk through our door, and they can walk in to as many programs as they want to really obtain these tools to put in their toolbox and take out into our community and be contributing members of our community, just like you and I.
Yeah, I think that's that's amazing, and what's here in this facility and coming to volunteer initially. Before anybody was here, and we were helping clean up and prep it. Now you mentioned obviously I look forward to help that we can get it to where we can come back and interact with people at Gigi's and everything else and help in other ways. Looking forward to that and the opportunities there. But let's talk about what's one big thing coming up for Gigi's. There's an event coming up.
Yeah, so we have our 6th annual I Have a Voice Gala, and it's themed I Have a Voice because we all have a voice. And my friends with Down syndrome have low muscle tone, and some can't say or can't verbalize what they want to say. Maybe if they're 4, maybe they're 2, and maybe they're still an adult and they want to express themselves. So I Have a Voice opens a platform for us to come get our community together to celebrate on an evening with a plated dinner, a live and silent auction, and a raffle. And then this year we're bringing in the Improvineers. They're a Down syndrome comedy troupe that really will showcase how they are just like you and I and can have a little fun and do improv. And I'm hoping that some of our participants will want to join the Improvineers someday.
So think about impact, and where can somebody who want to volunteer for Gigis, how do they do it? How do we help others come in from a business standpoint or whatever, or has time to be able to get at Gigis?
Yeah, first step, go to our website, gigisplayhouse.org/Fargo, click the volunteer button, and fill out the application, whether it is for your business or for yourself. And it gets you into our volunteer, we do an orientation, but with groups, we typically do it on site. And it gets you involved. And we ultimately know that you might not know what you want to do when you walk in the door, and your thoughts may be different as you shadow, but we want to take your talents as a volunteer and really help you become the best versions of yourselves to educate, inspire, and believe in our participants.